Hey everyone, we made it. 8 weeks come and gone. Well, for my final assignment, I'm doing a persuasive speech on the legalization of marijuana. As we all know, there are two sides to this argument. One is right, and one is very wrong. Also, before I begin persuading you to join my side, I do have to state that anything in this speech comes from fact or my own personal opinion, and by no means is represented by the United States government or the United States Air Force. And again, only comes from facts and my personal opinion. That being said, let's get started. I am pro-legalization, and I believe that not being pro-legalization is just ignorant for multiple reasons. But the major reasons are the government was wrong about weed having no medical properties, and also wrong about marijuana being a killer. We cannot forget the taxes surrounding the issue, and if it was legalized, it would be safer. So, like I mentioned in my informative speech, the government made marijuana a Schedule I drug of the Controlled Substances Act in 1970, basically stating that it had absolutely no medical properties. And again, they said it had no medical properties. Also referring to my other speech, where it lists over 18 different illnesses that it helps. But let's not waste our time looking at all 18. Let's pick one of the most well-known and deadliest ones. A disease that everyone hates. Marijuana helps with cancer. So let's look on how it helps with cancer. It's almost a certainty that we have all been affected by cancer in some form or fashion, as we all know how painful and how horrible this illness is, and we want to do whatever we can to help these patients. So let me tell you, marijuana is proven to help relieve the symptoms of cancer patients, such as the constant nausea they have from the illness and the treatment process. Also, it immensely helps with the extreme pain that comes from destroyed nerve endings, a constant sharp, achy pain that never goes away. Marijuana helps relieve those. Not only is it proven to do that through studies, there are many more studies finding out more possibilities of marijuana for cancer patients. Studies have shown that there's a good possibility that the THC, which is the main drug found in marijuana, helps slow the growth and spread of certain types of cancer. Not only has it shown the possibility to slow the growth and spread of certain types of cancer in animal trials, it has shown the possibility of killing cancer cells. Killing cancer cells in a laboratory growth environment, and the government says that marijuana is a Schedule I drug that has absolutely no medical properties. Even with all that information on how important it can be in the medical field, the government turns a blind eye to keeping it illegal by saying, well, it may have some medical properties, but they don't outweigh how bad it is for you and how many people have died from the use of marijuana. So let's take a look at how many people have died from the use of marijuana and compare it to some other recreational drugs that are legal and have no medical properties. So taken from drugwarfacts.org, from their report from 2007, Annual Causes of Death in the United States. First, and at the top, do we find the deadly killer marijuana? Nope, we don't. We find a legal drug with no medical properties at all, tobacco, which is actually proven to cause cancer. They claim the top of the chart at 435,000 kills annually. So marijuana didn't make the top. So I mean, it can't be that bad of a drug. Didn't make the top, didn't beat tobacco. So let's look a little further down. Maybe it's still in the top 3. So let's look at number 3. Did marijuana, the deadly killer, make it to number 3? Nope. Again, we find a legal drug that has absolutely no medical properties, and everybody uses pretty much alcohol, which holds third place at 85,000 kills annually. Let's keep looking down the list. Maybe it's closer to the bottom, but who knows? So second from the bottom, is this where we find the infamously deadly drug marijuana? Again, no. Beaten by a legal drug that you can get at Walmart and that people take every day for minor issues. In second to last place, we find non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, which basically is aspirin. I guarantee we've all taken aspirin. And they hold second place with 7,600 kills annually. Finally, we find the so-called deadly drug marijuana in last place. With how many kills? 0 kills annually. But you may be saying, I know someone who has died from marijuana, and to that I would have to say I'm sorry that you have experienced loss, but I guarantee you it wasn't from marijuana. It takes 20,000 to 40,000 times the THC found in a normal joint to overdose. Now that being said, what killed that person? If it wasn't marijuana, what did it? Sadly, a lot of drug dealers will lace their marijuana with other drugs to help make more money, sometimes just to kill people, and to help save on product. I personally knew a friend who died using marijuana. So I thought. But upon further investigation, it was found that a local drug dealer who was selling to college kids in the area was lacing his product with PCP. And that was causing the death of the college kids, not the marijuana itself. So how do we stop drug dealers from lacing their product? It's pretty simple. Obviously, the government making the drug illegal hasn't helped stop the lacing. It's only helped expand the market for drug dealers. The only way to stop them is to make it legal, set regulations in place, make legal drug dealers that have to be regulated and checked and have to be certified to deal, almost like drugstores. Not only will that stop the lacing of drugs, it'll prevent people from buying from people on the street. It'll also give the government another form of income. Talking about income, let's look at an important fact of legalization of marijuana. We covered it a bit in my informative speech, and we'll look at it here. So based off Jeffrey Marron's research, the government spends $8.7 billion a year to keep marijuana illegal. As we all know, our government is in debt and looking to save money. Well, if we stopped making marijuana legal, they would stop spending $8.7 billion and start saving $8.7 billion. Not only would they save that money, like we mentioned earlier, they could tax the process, tax certifications, tax the buying of the drug itself. They would make money. Based off CNN money, like mentioned in the other speech, Colorado is one of the states that have legalized marijuana. And in a year, they made $53 million. So if the government followed suit, they would be making around $53 million a state. Now, I do know that not every state is going to make $53 million. Some are going to make more, some are going to make less. But it's an estimate, just so you can wrap your head around it. So, if they legalize marijuana, they would stop spending $8.7 billion a year, and they would start making around $53 million a year a state. It does not take a math genius to see how it would help our government work its way out of the debt problem we are in. So let's look at it. Marijuana is not a killer. It has many medical properties, and more to come. They've only started scratching the surface. And could provide a way to help the government not be so far in debt. And if they legalized marijuana, it would be safer for the people that are going to use it either way. So with all the positives of legalization of marijuana, why would you continue to keep it illegal? Why would you, as a person, be against legalization? Below I have listed sources from which my facts come from, as well That's for you to find out more. Look at my informative speech as well, and thank you for your time. And I hope after all the information that you are pro legalization now.